Humans have used weapons for a long time. In the 9th century AD, the Chinese invented gunpowder. Around year 1000, the first devices identified as guns or proto-guns appeared in China. They used to put it in a bamboo tube and shoot animals and enemies with it. The matchlock had become obsolete by the 1700s. Because of the superiority of the flintlock mechanism, it quickly became integrated into military weapons throughout Europe and Asia. And it even spread to African and American colonies. But we're not here to discuss the history of the guns. If we jump from 1800 to 2022, we can see that the world has changed dramatically since 1800. Different types of technology gadgets are introduced on a daily basis, and most countries are competing for future technology, especially when it comes to weapons. There are hundreds of different types of weapons, and guns are the most important role in war or quick commando operation. This list includes the top 10 most dangerous and lethal firearms in the world. But first, before we begin, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button to turn on notifications. Let's start the video. Number 10. KRISS Vector Gun. The KRSS Vector is a series of weapons based on the parent submachine gun design developed by the American company KRISS USA. Renaud Kerbrat, a French engineer, invented the weapon's patented action. This mechanism, known as the KRISS Super V system, allows the block and bolt to recoil off-axis into a recess behind the weapon's magazine well. The barrel of the Vector is aligned with the shooter's shoulder, as with the M16 and FG42, but also with the shooter's hand, as with many target pistols. By eliminating the distance between the shooter's hand and the bore axis, these factors are said to reduce felt recoil and muzzle climb. Number 9. Magpul Fmg9. The Magpul Fmg9 is a folding submachine gun prototype designed by Magpul Industries in 2008. Magpul announced in January 2021 that they would collaborate with 𝐓 Technologies to produce the FDP9 folding defense pistol and FDC9 folding defensive carbine. As the number 9 suggests, both are chambered with 9mm parabellum. Production is set to begin in 2022. Even though 2 Magpul videos show a firearm that resembles the Fmg9, the final design may not be complete at this time. The Fmg9 started with a Glock 18, but the pistol grip, trigger, and trigger guard were modified to fold flat and retain the magazine. The Fmg9 retains standard Glock controls such as the magazine release and slide release, but adds an external charging handle to avoid having to remove the outer shell to chamber a round. The shell was designed to fit the Glock 18's 33-round extended magazine. Unfolding the weapon was as simple as pulling the external charging handle. The weapon would then unfold on its own. Number 8. The Mighty M4 Carbine. For nearly 5 decades, the U.S. military has attempted to replace the M4 M16 series of weapons. From fléchette firing prototypes to rifles that used caseless ammunition and fired in hyperbursts, no weapon was thought to be sufficiently superior to the M16 to replace it. The M4, essentially a shortened version of the M16, eventually replaced the M16 as the frontline issue rival throughout the 2000s. Simultaneously, the military abandoned development of the Objective Individual Combat Weapon, OICW, which combined a 25mm airburst grenade launcher with a 5.56 firing rifle. Number 7. Heckler & Koch HK416. The Heckler & Koch HK416 is a gas-powered assault rifle chambered for the NATO 5.56mm cartridge. The Germans designed and manufactured it. This assault rifle takes 30-round magazines. It works with standard NATO 5.56mm magazines. The weapon features a telescopic buttstock that can be extended or collapsed to accommodate the shooter. It has 6 different pull lengths. It also has a new pistol grip that is more ergonomic than the one on the M4 Carbine. The HK416 is equipped with diopter-type iron sights as standard. It also has a Picatinny scope rail that can be used with a variety of scopes. There is also an accessory rail on all 4 sides of the forearm. The HK416 is compatible with the majority of current M4 and M16 accessories, including a 40mm underbarrel grenade launcher. Number 6. The G3 Assault Rifle. Heckler & Koch developed the G3 rifle in the late 1950s. The Bundeswehr adopted it in 1959 and used it until the mid-1990s, when it was replaced by the G36 assault rifle. Some G3 variants are still in use by German border guards and police forces. This weapon was widely disseminated. At one point, 75 countries used it as their standard-issue assault rifle. It's still used by more than 60 countries. Variants of this weapon are still manufactured under license in several countries. Number 5. The AK-103. Mikhail Kalashnikov, a Russian small arms designer, designed the AK-103 assault rifle in 1994. Classical Kalashnikov assault rifle with 7.62 by 39mm ammunition for infantry and other troops with improved ergonomics and modern materials. The AK-103 is a basic infantry assault rifle with solid mechanics and contemporary features. The four-hands design allows for greater versatility by including tactical rails for various accessories and devices. The folding buttstock improves the operator's tactical capabilities and provides a wider range of transportation options. 7.62 by 39mm magazines from previous AK generations are interchangeable with the AK-103. Number 4. The Galil Assault Rifle. In the late 1960s, the Galil assault rifle was developed. It takes its name from one of its designers, Yisrael Galil. This weapon is based on the Finnish M62 assault rifle, which is based on the Soviet AK-47. The Galil, on the other hand, is chambered for a different cartridge and has a few other differences. According to some sources, the weapon's tooling and machinery were imported from Finland. The Galil was adopted by the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, in 1972. The Galil was adopted by the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, in 1972, and served as a standard infantry weapon until the early 1990s. This assault rifle is still in use in Israel, despite being largely replaced by newer designs like the TAR-21 and X-95. The Galil has been exported to a number of countries. This weapon's standard 5.56 by 45mm version is fed by 35-round magazines. It's also compatible with the Galil ARM light machine gun's 50-round box magazines. Number 3. The Sig Sg550. The Sig 550 assault rifle series was introduced in the late 1970s. The Swiss Army began looking for a new, smaller caliber rifle to replace the old, full-power 7.5mm STGW-57 Sig 510 automatic rifle at the time. The 5.6 by 48 Eiger and 6.5 by 48 GP80 ammunition were used in the initial tests. Sig, based on their SG540 design, and their competitors at the time, state-owned Waffenbrick, state-owned Waffenfabrik Bern, W+F, both developed prototype rifles. The Swiss Army also chose a slightly improved version of the NATO 5.56 by 45 cartridge and dubbed it the 5.6mm GP90. Further testing demonstrated the Sig Sg541 rifle's superiority over its W+F rival. The Swiss Army officially adopted the Sig Sg541 in 1983. The Sig 550 is essentially a lighter and more refined Sig Sg540 or 541 rifle. The Sig Sg550 is a gas-powered pistol with a detachable gas piston attached to the bolt carrier. It has two massive lugs on a rotating bolt. The recoil spring is located above the barrel, around the gas piston rod, and the bolt carrier is attached to the gas piston rod via a removable charging handle. Number 2. The HK416 Assault Rifle. Heckler & Koch developed the HK416 assault rifle in the 1990s to meet the U.S. Army's Delta Force requirement. It's an enhanced version of the M4 Carbine, which is widely used by the United States military. The HK416, on the other hand, is created and modified independently. The 𝐔𝐘416 is currently used by more than 20 countries, primarily by special forces and law enforcement agencies. Number 1. The FN SCAR. To meet the U.S. Special Operations Command's requirement, the famous Belgian Fabrique Nationale developed the FN SCAR module assault rifle US SOCOM. The U.S. Special Forces requested a new combat rifle in various calibers. The FN SCAR has been adopted by the US SOCOM. In 2009, deliveries began. It's currently used in 20 countries worldwide. This weapon is frequently used by special forces and elite law enforcement units. So here, guys, were the top 10 most advanced guns in the world. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.